For more on the recent turmoil taking place in Africa, I'm joined now by Dr. Bonfas Owinga in Atlanta. He's an assistant professor of political science at Clark Atlanta University. Thank you very much for your time. Now, from the west to the east coast of the African Sahel region, just about every country has had a coup. What's behind it?
Thank you for having me. I think there are several factors that are causing the coups within this belt in West Africa. I think the first one is the concern about security, the violence that has been caused by jihadists along that belt of Africa. And so that is the first reason why these coups are happening, the concern for security. The second reason that I would cite is the poor economic performance of some of these countries. I think the failure of democracy to deliver both good governance and economic development. And then the third reason that I would cite is the involvement of some international actors. For example, France, which has been accused of propping some of these authoritarian leaders in the region.
Efforts to encourage good governance in Africa was seen to be making progress a decade or so ago. Initiatives like the Ibrahim Prize seemed somewhat successful, but the tide has really turned now with this new spate of coups over the years. What's been missing in that incentivization to forge good democracies?
I think what's missing is economic development. I think what has been found through research is that countries can transition to different forms of democracies without economic development. But if you want to consolidate democracy, you need economic development. And I think most of these countries have failed to achieve economic development, and that creates discontent within the population. And then military leaders can take advantage of such economic situations.
What about the international presence of some groups? For example, how has the presence of the Wagner Group contributed to the stability or instability of Africa?
I think those private military organizations that some of these countries use, sometimes the conflict between these private military companies and the country's militaries within those countries. And I think they, in many cases, the violence that they sometimes involve in does not really cause peace or stability, but can fuel it further. And so I think that their involvement may not be positive in many cases.
And dozens of African countries are in attendance at the 3rd China-Africa Peace and Security Forum in Beijing with the aim of bringing stability in the region. How might a cooperation like this work?
I think any international actor that supports peace and democracy in the continent should be a welcome process. And what I think is that international actors, including China, the United States, the United Nations, the European Union, I think there needs to be a collaborative approach to peace in the continent, such that there's this consolidated effort to ensure that peace prevails in some of these countries.
All right, Dr. Bonfas Owinga, thank you very much for your time. Assistant Professor of Political Science at Clark Atlanta University.
Thank you so much.